PDAC 2019, and I am with our good friend Peter Clausi. Peter, thank you so much for joining us today. We're here to talk about CBLT. So talk to us about what's going on at the company.
CBLT has had a very interesting evolution. It has had a profitable year of mergers and acquisitions activity, and it's continuing with the purchase of a portfolio of Canadian assets that we hope to close on in the next week or so.
Right. Now it's interesting, these are gold assets, correct?
The main asset is gold, one is grassroots, and then Big Duck Lake is polymetallic, right next to the old Winston Lake mine, which was a polymetallic producing mine in Ontario.
Okay. So is this going to change the sort of strategy of CBLT at all? Because you are a cobalt play.
We are. We also like making money for the shareholders, so whatever it takes.
Yeah.
We have found an opportunity to buy assets at what we think is a discount, and through a fair and open bid process, CBLT was the successful winner. So we will take those assets into our fold, look at the data, figure out what to do next.
Okay.
But North Shore has an existing 43101 on it, showing a considerable sized resource, and recent drilling will add to that resource.
Okay. So talk to us about what's going on at Gauganda and the Gauganda camp.
Up in Gauganda, we have several properties. We optioned some to Australian companies and sold some others. There are companies doing exploration in the Gauganda silver gold camp. The problem with the cobalt that way, of course, is it has to be carried with another mineral. So you have companies looking for that other mineral, which is mainly silver in that part of the world, and the cobalt comes with the silver. We have seen some nice numbers lately. There are no new deposits, there's no new shocking find, but companies are doing good work that way.
So what's going to be on the focus for 2019 going forward?
In 2019, CBLT has about $600,000 of marketable securities on its books. So we are starting to market those securities and convert them to cash. So those are non-dilutive financings. Then we will probably do some flow-through financings on top of that. We will look at the portfolio of properties we have. We'll probably have to rationalize some of the properties, decide where we can get the best value for the shareholders by either working in the field or by selling the properties to someone else.
And how's the market reacting to the CBLT story, the acquisition and going forward?
The market has been very positive. The stock has blipped up a little and is holding steady. It should blip up on closing, but in this market, who knows what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
With only 50 million shares out and 70 million following the transaction, we have a lot of room in our stock to move. There's a lot of value for shareholders, and that's what we're going to be looking at building.
Talk to us a bit about the cobalt price environment currently and whether you still see that demand for cobalt coming down the pipeline.
It's a trick of physics that it's called a lithium-ion battery. The ion travels back and forth through the lithium medium. There's 12 times more cobalt than lithium in your average lithium-ion battery. So if you like lithium, you have to love cobalt. Cobalt has come off from $94,000 a ton on the London Metals Exchange down to around $33,000 a ton in a year. It's 2/3 of a loss of value. I've seen a lot of different reasons for it, and the common answer seems to be China is behind it. There's some form of price manipulation going on. I don't know how they're doing it, but that seems to be the common wisdom. Going forward, the demand is there. If you think we will have more cars next year that are electric than this year, or more power walls, or more lithium-ion batteries, then absolutely you need to be in cobalt. Nickel as well, manganese. The average electric car needs 85 kilograms of copper, whereas the average combustion engine uses around 50. So we're looking at copper being driven as well as one of the battery metals.
Peter, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Any sort of final words of wisdom that you'd like to pass on to our viewers about either cobalt or CBLT particularly?
The mining industry generally right now is out of favor, which means it's time to be a buyer. Look for good management teams, look for good properties, and be a buyer in the industry now.
Short and sweet and very to the point. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thanks for having me.